Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I am going to go over Bitcoin and a little bit of Ethereum too. Okay, guys. I was just hanging out on Twitter, taking a look at Twitter and the sentiment on Twitter. And pretty much the sentiment is it's all going to zero. It's all going to zero, right? For the most part, it's got to keep on going down. I don't agree with Gareth Solway's little deal that he put on Twitter saying Bitcoin is going to 9,000. Not yet. Not yet. I don't see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over Bitcoin. I'm going to go over Ethereum a little bit and take a look at that and give you my 2 cents on it and looking at a trade strategy that I would be looking at for Bitcoin and also Ethereum is what I would be doing, guys. So upcoming day. Now I have a line on my chart, the 23rd of January. The reason I have that on there, marked on there, is 4-year cycle deal, guys. Also the 4-year cycle and the 60-day cycle going off that area. So that if this whole 4-year cycle deal does work, I think right around that time frame is going to be when it should be landing down there. From this point in this area, about 16,600 down to the down here in this area, 14,000, something like that. Okay. The area target that I have marked right now is 14,700 down to 13,600, more or less, to finally get its way down there. For those who are new to my channel, I have it in this a descending wedge, which it's fitting the pattern right now, so it looks pretty good. Descending wedge coming right down into this descending wedge, and this target right here hit the bottom area of that, so it's giving off a good signal that it is making a descending wedge, okay, and not a impulse move. So for those that are new to my channel, I'll show you descending wedges come down impulsively like this, but that fourth wave usually comes up and hits that second wave, so you have a pattern sort of like this, okay, sort of kind of like that. And then you take your trend from your second to your fourth, and you have a trend usually sort of kind of like that. Okay. There are throwovers. Realize too, there are throwovers and throw unders in these areas. So you can have a throwover up there. You can have a throw under down here. And then they can do throw unders in the descending wedge onto that fifth wave for sure. So the fifth wave can extend like so. But typically, it's going to look something kind of like that. Okay. And the other type of pattern, your normal everyday impulse move has rules where the fourth wave is not supposed to enter the price territory of wave one. Okay. So, right. Just like so. If it enters in there, then it's not an impulse wave. That's a rule. But on wedges or descending or diagonals, if you will, they enter that price territory and usually tag it. Okay. That's usually a really good signal for a descending wedge for it to do that, just like it did right here. It tagged it. Okay. And now it's coming back down. So some type of wave down here into your second, down for your third, and your fourth, and it's coming down like that. So this would be the pattern that I'd be looking for. Okay. Something like along these lines. This whole thing is, in my opinion, a funky B wave, something like that, guys. I'd actually put the one right there. Personally, is where I'd put it. So, and then back down here, up into that fourth, tag that area, and now it's coming down into this wave. Okay. And the time area is the 23rd of January that I'm looking at right now. That's not anything set in stone, but that's a time area. The second, third week, the last part or last half of January is a time area that I'm looking at. So 30 days from now, evaluate, see what's going on. Okay. So that's what I do. I still have this target box in there. Bitcoin might have a difficult time making it up to there, but it could. And touching this area, getting higher than that trend line, that could be a short opportunity coming up for Bitcoin, depending on the signals. Okay. The other areas I'm going to go over on Bitcoin is a longer time frame here too, is another target area that I'm looking for Bitcoin is based off this ABC wave, and then this is an A, B, and coming down into a C wave like that. So that's the pattern that I'm looking for right now on Bitcoin until it proves to me otherwise that it's going to be doing something different. And then if you take the length of this wave, and I'm checking that correction, and the length of this whole wave, this whole ABC wave, extended Y wave on the WXY wave, it will go all the way down to 1.618 is another area. 14,800 is a target that I'm looking for on that too. Okay, for Bitcoin in the time area of about the last half of January right now. For what am I looking for on Bitcoin? What I'm looking for would be a reversal on Bitcoin. Okay, in this area, whether it's going to be bullish move out of there. Well, it will be a bullish move out of there, more than likely, some sort of at least a move, going to the upside, or if that's going to be the bottom area for Bitcoin, guys. So this is pending that Binance Coin does not break down. So far, so good with Binance Coin. I went over Binance Coin with you guys a little bit, show you areas to look for. If it breaks down from the 204, 205, 206 area, more or less, daily candle bodies below that, weekly candle bodies below that, I would start to get concerned it's going to be breaking down. Otherwise, so far, so good with Binance Coin. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for with Bitcoin. Your shorter opportunities, guys, really are going to be, you're going to have more luck over here, in my opinion, and safer, say, with even the S&P 500. It's looking like the S&P 500 came down into a move, and then you could get a move over here if you want to pick this, get your second shot, and then ride this wave, ride this potential wave down right here on the S&P. So personally, Bitcoin, you have the opportunities there. I think it's going to be better over here, personally. So Ethereum, this is Ethereum. I'm looking at Ethereum and decided to just take a look at this on Ethereum. And this is my take on Ethereum, guys. So the setup that I would be looking for with Ethereum relating to Bitcoin is that, if Bitcoin dumps significantly, let me go back to Bitcoin and take a look at that. Let's say Bitcoin has a dump from, let's say it gets to the box and it's going to dump all the way down to here. Let's say another 18%, more or less 20%. You can expect Ethereum to do more than that. Let's say Ethereum gets to 1277 and 25%, let's say 30% drop, 30% drop. If Ethereum does a 30% drop, it is going to test this area over here. Okay, so I'm going to go through Ethereum and I tell you the good part and the bad part with Ethereum that I'm looking at. Potential decent setup for a trade coming up to the long side. There, obviously, if it pulls up really good, there could be a really good short to the downside too with Ethereum, kind of like this one right here, except this one seems to be taking its time. But looking at Ethereum, guys, is you clearly can see that it swiftly is making this move down, swiftly making a move down. It bounced, and now this move is not it's not making that swift move down. It's slowing up in something. It's either slowing up to finish off the rest of the waves, or it's slowing up to finish off some sort of weird second wave. Those are really your two options: to break the low or not to break the low. That's what it's with Ethereum: break the low or not break the low. That's what's going to be interesting. I hope it holds on to the low personally, because I would like to see Ethereum have a bottom in June 20th as an example, and then Bitcoin has a bottom over in January or maybe February, wherever Bitcoin may do a bottom. And that would just even confuse the whole cryptoverse even more. It's like, oh, Ethereum bottom in June, but Bitcoin bottom in January. They're supposed to bottom at the same time. I would like to see it personally. I would like to see it, but just don't know. But here's the thing that I'm looking at with Ethereum, guys. It's coming down in such a way where it's really, to me, it's like trying to slow up in something right here. Okay, it's not this. at all. And this wave sequence, however you want to break this down, this could be A, B, C. Okay, I'll break this down and just use Elliott waves. I don't trade Elliott waves. I just use them as a guide to get the trend. And with this sequence right here, you have an ABC, you have another ABC because it came up in a 5-wave move. So it has to be an ABC. There's another one here. You have a potential ABC for a move. And then you're going to have another one over here. So I'll put this together for you like this is how I'm looking at this. If this is the move that Ethereum made, okay? If this is the move, this is an ABC, and then right here, A, B, and then down for a C. And let's say it goes like that, okay? If this is this type of sequence and it's not trying to impulse down, then this whole thing is a correction, okay? It's correcting down. And if Ethereum is correcting down, then down here, it will go back up. That's the reality of it. You want to keep that in the back of your mind, okay? So for that potential. And then if this is a move up that Ethereum made, an impulsive move up, and it came back down correctively, well, then you know what happens over here. And you want to keep that in the back of your mind, guys, just because if it does come down here and not breaking that low, and this is a corrective move, and then this whole thing perhaps becomes some third wave potentially, you probably don't want to miss that, okay? So Ethereum is going to be easy. Once it gets down here, if it holds on to the lows in this area, it's going to be a really, really good shot. It can make a move over there. A really good shot. Probably pretty significant and explosive potentially. But if it breaks the low, then you'll have your answer. It's really that simple with Ethereum right now, guys. So that's what I'm doing is for a longer term swing trade right now. Obviously, there's nothing bullish about it at all right now. Nothing bullish about Ethereum. It's going to be trending back down more. Bitcoin's going down more. So Ethereum's going to be going down more. And the deal is what I'd be looking for is if Ethereum's going to be coming to the box or maybe a little bit lower, is it going to be a play off that low? So let's say Ethereum comes to the box at 961, you know, your stop would be at 877, and then boom, you could get in over here like that. That's what I'm actually looking for with Ethereum. Okay. So let's go back to the past history of Ethereum, and you can see in this wave, from this wave one and over to here, you can see this bottom part of the wave, its second wave came almost down and touched it. So if I put a line right there, I'm going to put a horizontal array right there in that area, you can see that Ethereum missed it by just less than about 5%. And if you take something up here and I go up, let's just say a little bit, there's 5% right there. So I can take another horizontal array and stick it right there. You know, that would be the setup for Ethereum. Boom, stop, and then playing off that. Okay, that's what I would be looking for. Just because to me, this is not some sort of impulsive move that it's making here. Okay, can it turn into one? It could. That's why you want to pay attention into this area, because in my opinion, with Ethereum, this could take a lot of people by surprise. It's down here. They're all thinking it's going to 400. It reverses. Boom. You have your stop set up, and it rolls out of there. Okay. That could happen, and that's something I'd be looking for a seriously good trade. Because if this is a wave one and it comes down, it can come up into, you know, a third wave, which will be, you know, the overall trend of that third wave will be more explosive than this wave. Potentially, guys, is what I'm looking for. Okay. If it breaks this low, then, you know, all bets are off with Ethereum. And then it did some type of move. This was a corrective move, and then it's coming down, and then it's going to be equal, if you will, with Bitcoin. It'll bottom at the same time with Bitcoin. Okay. So it remains to be seen. Now I'm going to go over the overall trend. I was looking at Ethereum, and if you look at this, okay, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to just go over this, and I'm going to look at Ethereum right now on the overall chart of Ethereum I have it on CoinTrader Pro because you can get all the data on CoinTrader Pro with Ethereum. And just looking at the chart and let you guys know, I'm going to look at this and like somebody told me, hey, Greg, look at this chart. What would you do? What's going on? You know, blah, blah, blah. What, you know, where would you be setting up like maybe a trade or where would you be getting into this thing? Okay. So I take a look at the chart and I get this overall picture and I'm like, wow, it's like a really, really bullish asset. Okay. You can see here, and I just look at the overall pattern. I can see here's an impulse move here. It corrected it. And then it appears to be another impulse move over here and corrected it. And it has the same type of pattern. Here's an impulse move. It corrected it. You can see how it came down. It didn't come down deep in this area because it was so bullish. And then, you know, typical of the beginning stages of the first impulse wave of a cryptocurrency, and then went up to finish it. You can see here, this second wave is much longer in time than this fourth wave. So you could say the same thing about this right here. This second wave is much bigger in time than this fourth wave, and it went up and finished it, okay? You can make an argument, too, that this whole thing is the third wave, and this is a fourth, and it might be coming up for a fifth. That is that argument. That can't be ruled out either. So, but if I'm looking now, what I would look at too, just to get an idea, is I would be looking at this and then looking at this, and I'd be saying like this and this look awfully similar to me, just the overall picture. This and this, just a smaller version of this right here. That's what I would be looking at, and if I was doing it, I would be okay. Let me get a look. Obviously, you got to look at the rest of the markets and figure out, okay, is they're going down? Is Bitcoin going down, et cetera? What's the DXY? What are the other markets doing to drag this down? What I would be doing here on Ethereum, obviously, I'd be looking at this low and I'd be saying, okay, where is this going to end up? Right here, just looking at the basics. Where is this going to end up? Have this come down into this area, okay, on its trend, and then be looking at an area to fill up a bag on Ethereum, playing off that low right there with your stop at 878 to try to get it on that. That's just the basic look that I see with Ethereum, okay? It does have quite a bit more space in that. Let me look at the daily chart. You know, it's coming up, but it could come back down quite a bit more and take that out. So looking at Ethereum, if this just perhaps this wave, let me go to an 8-hour chart. I'll show you. If this wave right here is a first wave, let's call that a first wave, and it's coming up for a second, and then it's going to come down for a third, fourth, and fifth. If I just get basic targets, okay, just basic targets, it's not going to do like a diagonal or anything, okay? And let's say it comes up about 50%. Well, right there, one, you know, your two, here would be your third wave target, right? Okay, back up, and then you can see right in this area, if it does do a move like that, you're looking at something that's going to possibly maintain that low. So there's your third wave target, that 1.618, back up onto a fourth, and then the 2.0 to 2.27, you can see that it's looking like coming awfully close to that area. Now, that's if it does a full-blown impulse move out of there, guys, okay? There's the other couple ways you can look at this too, where it might not do an impulse move. Ethereum might do a diagonal type move. So 1, 2, it might come down into a 3 like so, right? And then back up onto a 4, touching that first wave, and then back down to a 5. It could do something like that as an example, okay? Or if this is going to be an A and this is a B and it's coming down for a C, you can take the length of this wave and then you can get an idea, okay, more or less, is it, where is the, and you can see the 1-to-1 comes right down and tests that area right there, guys. So Ethereum is setting itself up, in my opinion, where you wouldn't be paying attention to it, because if it holds on to the low right there of 869, 868, and then there could be a nice setup in this area, guys, probably right around the end of January or in that time frame, according to what I'm looking at with Bitcoin. And you can get into a very explosive move over here potentially. And it would line up too with what's going on possibly with the Fed. The markets, I went over this previous videos. The markets are making are giving the headwinds, not the headwinds, but the foreshadowing, foresight. The markets, pick up on things before they actually happen. That the Fed is going to stop raising rates in either February or March. Okay, that's what the markets are predicting. They're also saying that the markets are saying that there will be a pivot in, I think, September, October. I have to go look at that data again. Personally, probably don't want to see that. You probably want to see them hold on to that pause a little bit longer, like maybe through 2024, but it remains to be seen. That's what the markets are saying. Okay, so that would line up with Ethereum and going up in this direction, guys. So that's what I would be looking out for. And then in the meantime, what you want to do is you want to go through your all your altcoins that are maintaining a good sequence, okay? And they're in a bullish sequence, okay? And stick with those coins for the time being. And then once you make some gains, as an example, like Lido, as an example, I have Lido. I'm looking at this one too, guys, to really. So you have Lido went over here an explosive 6x move, right? This went up 500, almost 6x, 500. Let's say 500% of 5x, right? And it's coming back down over here. I'm taking a look at this pattern that it's coming down in, which I think is similar to what it's doing with Bitcoin, and then probably bounce back up and get back down into these areas. And then Lido went up into this wave, and it's correcting this whole sequence over here. And then, it could come down to 60 cents perhaps or something like that, a little bit lower, maintains this low. It can get out of there onto another wave. Okay. So now the negative part about Ethereum that I don't like, okay, is the amount of time that it's taking. The amount of time over here for this wave so far is 132 days. And let's say it goes to the end of January, you'll be looking at 160 to 164 days for a wave that only took it 60 days. So you have a wave went up 60 days and then a correction that's taken 162 days. That is a concern. That's not good for Ethereum. You can see right here, this wave, it took about 190 days. And then I think it was about 260 days for that second wave. Yeah, 256 days for that second wave. So you can see the time sequence between these two is really, really nice. So the negative part of that I don't like is the amount of time that it's taken for Ethereum to complete this, okay, compared to this wave. So that's giving you signals that this is just a corrective bounce when you look at it from that point of view, okay? So then it could come down, break it, and then bottom will be down here, and this is some sort of wave sequence that goes with this sequence over here somehow, okay? Or this is the sequence that's corrected it, and it's coming down some other type of sequence right here into this area. Okay. However, I will say this, there are second waves that can last a long time. And one of the areas I'll show you that how that works with second waves, typically in cryptocurrency, particularly, they're swift and sharp. They like to come down really deep like so. And you can have a second wave where you have a very long drawn out second wave, and you'll have a real long third wave. And that usually is a flat. And what they do is they'll come down into a flat. So it comes down into an A, it'll come back up into a B, and it comes back down into C. And you have assets that could take a flat. It goes up in an impulsive move, and it comes all the way around into this flat, really doesn't go anywhere, and then it can go into that third wave. And the flat move can be 5 times, 8 times, 10 times, or more longer than the first wave, okay? That is acceptable. To me, that's very acceptable. And you could have not necessarily an explosive third wave, but you just have a real long third wave because the base that's made when wave 1, long base for a wave 2, and boom, it goes out for a wave 3. The difference here with Ethereum that, once again, I don't like about it is not a flat. Okay. It's a complex correction, more than likely a W, an X, and then back down for a Y, which is in the zigzag family. Okay. That's the only concern for me with Ethereum on that. It's not a flat, but it's taking up a lot of time. So can it do that? It could. It could take up a lot of time into a second wave through a complex correction and then get out of there onto a third wave. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. Right now with it, I'm looking at it with the potential of an awesome setup right here. This will be a great setup if it works out. Okay. You don't want to miss out on that. And a lot of people over here in this space will. Okay. Because how do I know? Because a lot of them missed that. They're still talking about a bear market. And that's the facts. If you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor. Drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.